So the year was 1987. I was 7 years old, going on 8. I was in the grocery store with my mother, and in the grocery store was Dominic's Finer Foods in Joliet, Illinois. And in the grocery store, they had a little rack that included comic books, not like millions and millions and millions of comic books, probably like 10 titles from Marvel and 10 titles from DC. I picked up this. Oh, so this is Incredible Hulk number 337. Right, it's the first comic book I ever bought. Had 75 cents of my own money, I think. I don't think my mom would have spent 75 cents on me, but I 75 cents of my own money. I took this home. I read it. I read it again. I read it again and again and again. And then I bought every issue that followed for years and years and years. It was this moment that I became a comic book nerd, and especially this title, Incredible Hulk. It was a golden age for that particular title. The writer of the comic at the time was this fella, Peter David, right? One of to my mind, the greatest comic book writer ever, and widely respected in the industry, even if the industry doesn't call him the greatest, as one of the all-time greats. And it was reading Incredible Hulk comics by Peter David. Typically, comic book writers stay for a year or two on the title and they move into another and they bring in fresh blood. But he wrote Incredible Hulk from 1987 to 1999. So he wrote it for 12 years, right? So from the time I was 7 till the time I was 19. All right. So my whole formative experience of youth was spent in large part reading this guy's work. Peter David passed away yesterday at the age of 68. Yesterday was what's today? Yesterday was May 26th of 2025. So I just wanted to take a quick minute to introduce Peter David to you and pay a little tribute to him, because it really, like, I'm not saying he was more of an influence on me than my family, right? But outside of like the people that I knew personally that was closest to, it was this guy. It was the stories this guy was telling and the way he was telling them in a way that could appeal to a kid who was 7, 8, and 9, but still challenge that kid at 7, 8, and 9. It's from him that I got my love of reading. It's from him that I got my love of language and the creative use of language. It's from him that I got much of my sense of humor, which you'll all, I'm sure all of you will confirm is outstanding, that I'm a very, very funny person. Yes. You can't hear her because the microphone's pointed at me, but Brianna Perez is standing up and giving me a standing ovation. Like, even some of my worldview and my values in that period of time were more influenced by this guy and by his work on this, his intensely awesome work on this comic book, because he wrote at a level where, yes, it could inspire and challenge a 10-year-old, but where it still holds up. The last time I read through his whole run was probably just 4 or 5 years ago, when I was very much not 10 years old. So the reason I wanted to introduce him to you and pay a little tribute to him is because basically I am this guy's fault, right? This guy's work, and I never had the chance to meet him because I don't go out and do things. He went to conventions all the time when he was healthy, but I don't go out and do things. So I just wanted you to know that a big ingredient in what I've done here, I would not be a teacher if it weren't for the love of reading and the love of language that he implanted in me. And I would be a very different teacher if not for the communication style and the sense of humor that he in large part, and again, Brianna is giving me a standing ovation, that he implanted in me. So you can blame him on me, and I say may he rest in peace.